Hello, it's such a pleasure to come your way once again. Thank you for coming to Baby Child and Co channel. Today we are going to talk about something very important. We are talking about why you should breastfeed your baby. We know that this is the recommendation of the World Health Organization and other bodies like UNICEF, but why should you take it? Why should you breastfeed your baby? The first reason why you should breastfeed your baby is that it contains all the nutrients that the baby needs until the baby is 6 months old. And even beyond 6 months old, it's still a significant source of nutrition for your child. That is why we say that you should do exclusive breastfeeding, which means that you give only breast milk, nothing else added, unless it's on the recommendation of a doctor, until your baby is 6 months old. And beyond 6 months old, you still do continued breastfeeding until the baby is 2 years at least. So it contains all the nutrients that your baby will need. Breast milk has all these nutrients in the right compositions. The other thing about breast milk is that it is easily digested. This is a major difference between breast milk and replacement feeds or formula. When a baby takes breast milk, it's so in a form that the body likes, that the body is able to absorb it very quickly for it to go and do the work that it should do for your baby. You know, sometimes you realize that babies who are being breastfed, they feed very frequently. And this is the reason why. It's so easily digested. The body is able to take up almost all of it and use it. Whereas if you were feeding something else, it's not so easily digested. And so it may give you the impression that your baby is fuller because it stays in the baby's stomach for a long time before it gets digested. So when you are breastfeeding your baby and it seems that your baby is feeding too frequently, if it is not due to problems like poor attachment and so on, know that it is just because breast milk is so ideal for the body that it is so easily digested. So don't get discouraged. Continue to breastfeed your baby. The other thing about breast milk is that it gives protection. Breast milk gives protection against illnesses that your baby will get. Diarrheal illnesses, respiratory tract illnesses, cold and cough, pneumonia. Breast milk gives protection against it. And long term, even into adulthood, breast milk will protect your baby against diseases like obesity and overweight and hypertension. Right from colostrum, which is the first milk that you will have at late pregnancy or when your baby is delivered, it gives so much protection against diseases. Even this colostrum protects your baby against newborn jaundice, which we keep saying can cause disability and can cause death in your child. So that's another reason why you should give breast milk. It protects, and it also protects against allergies. So you should give breast milk to your baby, or you should breastfeed your baby. And when you are breastfeeding, don't just breastfeed. Try and breastfeed appropriately, which is exclusive breastfeeding until your baby is 6 months old, and then continue breastfeeding until your baby is 2 years old. Breast milk is cheap. You don't pay any money for it. Whether you are rich, you are poor, you can breastfeed your baby. That is another reason why you should breastfeed your baby. Even if you can afford not to, you can save money for other things. And it's not only about the cost, because of the other advantages. Breast milk being cheap should be the choice for your baby. It's readily available. You can feed your baby breast milk anytime, anywhere. And if you have a problem breastfeeding in public, we've done a video. I'll put the link in there. So breast milk is readily available wherever you are. You can breastfeed your baby. Even in the night, you don't even need to get out of bed when your baby is crying or your baby is hungry. You can give your breast milk to the baby, readily available. It doesn't require any preparation. You don't have to get up. You don't have to wash any utensils. So you should breastfeed your baby. Another thing about breast milk is that studies have found that babies score higher on intelligence tests when they have had breastfeeding the appropriate way. There are even studies that say that their eyesight is better. Now, when it comes to protection against diseases like diarrhea, as I have mentioned, it's been shown that the longer you breastfeed your baby, the more the protection that they get against those illnesses like diarrhea. And when we talk about diarrhea, it's not only about the hygiene of the food you are feeding. So for instance, you can say that, oh, you know how to prepare your bottle, you know how to boil your water, you know how to prepare the food hygienically, you wash your hands and so on, so your baby will not get diarrhea. That is fine, all well and good. But the other thing is that anything you are feeding your baby which is not breast milk, you are depriving your baby of certain things in the breast milk, protective factors, immunoglobulins and so on, antibodies. You are depriving your baby of that. So you are giving good nutrition, which is not contaminated, but you are depriving your baby of the protective factors in the breast milk. So that is why you can do it very hygienically, but still your baby is at risk of infections. Now, these are advantages for the baby that I've talked about. What about for you, the mother? There are a host of advantages for you as well. The first thing about breastfeeding your baby is that it helps you and your baby to develop a close, loving relationship faster than if you were not breastfeeding. That is what we call bonding. So if you breastfeed, you bond with your baby very fast. That is a reason why you should breastfeed. The other thing for you is that it helps you to space your pregnancies or space your babies, especially if you are breastfeeding well at night. There's a hormone that is produced that delays you ovulating or delays your eggs from being released. So breastfeeding the right way can help you to space your babies. So that's like a natural family planning method. If you do not want to do other family planning methods, then breastfeeding is the choice for you. The other thing is that it helps you to gain back your pre-pregnancy weight faster. So the weight you were at before you got pregnant, if you breastfeed well, you will get to that weight faster. But there's a myth here. Sometimes you are breastfeeding and you are told, oh, now you are too old because you are breastfeeding, you should eat for two. No, you don't need to eat for two. What you need to do is to eat nutritious food and drink a lot of water, because breast milk is more than 90% water. So you don't need to eat for two. You just need to eat healthy portions. Let it be balanced, and then you will gain your pre-pregnancy weight faster if you breastfeed well, because you gain your pre-pregnancy weight faster when you are doing breastfeeding the right way. It gives you some protection against some non-communicable diseases that are related to lifestyle. I've talked about diabetes and hypertension for the baby. The same thing for you, the mother, when you are breastfeeding the right way. And then it also protects you against some cancers, ovarian cancer and breast cancer. Breastfeeding will give you some protection against those cancers as well. We have said that it reduces your risk of certain cancers. The other thing it can do for you is that it saves money. That is because you are not buying the breast milk. Now, what about the environment? We know that if you are doing replacement feeding, it comes in packaging, it comes in containers. And nowadays, we are all concerned about climate change, environmental pollution, and all those things. So when you breastfeed, because it doesn't leave a lot of waste, you don't have containers, you don't have packs, you didn't buy water in bottles that you have to dispose of, and sometimes it's not disposed of appropriately. Breastfeeding is healthy for our environment as well. So with all these reasons, there's no reason why if you can breastfeed, you should not breastfeed. Almost every woman can breastfeed, so that should be the first choice for you when you are thinking about breastfeeding your baby. The only thing is that you need to start within an hour of delivery. As soon as your baby is delivered, ask for your baby to be put on your body, have skin-to-skin contact with your baby, and then within an hour you start to breastfeed your baby, so that your baby gets the colostrum and gets all the other advantages of feeding breast milk as well. Thank you for watching this video. If you have subscribed, we are so happy that you have subscribed. If not, please subscribe to our channel, because we do a lot of educative videos so that you can get to know them, you can get to see them, and hit the notification as well, so that when we upload a video, you will be notified. You should visit our blog, babychildandco.com, and join our parenting club. It is free. We don't charge you anything for that. You basically have access to a pediatrician who will guide you on your way as you parent your child. Thank you. Bye.